is a collective failure that even in fact Gurmehar Kaur, who raised her voice of dissent and presented her opinion on the social media, was forced to leave. No action has been taken, no concrete action has been taken by the police as well as the law ministry.
We need to send a very strong message that Delhi and the country will not tolerate this kind of behavior against its girls, and it is very scary because rape threats are being given again and again, and also murder threats. Who are these men? It needs to be identified. They need to be put behind the bars.
Absolutely shocking and condemnable that instead of protecting her, this government is making more, the ministers and all are making more, inciting remarks, actually encouraging students, encouraging antisocial elements to take the law into their own hand and beat up people. This is highly condemnable.
Delhi Police Crime Branch Cyber Crime Cell, it has registered one FIR under Section 354A and Section 506 of the IPC and Section 67 of the Information Technology Act. An investigation has been taken up.
दिल्ली पुलिस उनकी सुरक्षा जो दी गई है उस पे कॉन्फिडेंस कम है, इसीलिए गुरमेहर जैसी 20 साल की छात्रा को दिल्ली छोड़ने पर भी मजबूर होना पड़ता है.
Not merely that a war veteran's daughter is being threatened, it is also that Mother India is being invoked to threaten a girl with rape. But the most important thing is that this is being sanctified, this is being legitimized, this is being protected from the top.
Well, for the rest of the country, this has turned into a case of politics. For us here on this particular channel and on the Urban Debate, it remains a question of the safety of women in India. It remains a question of cyberbullying. It remains a question of whether or not the law and order machinery will come forward and will do what is necessary to protect this 120-year-old person, irrespective of the politics behind it. We're asking this question today. If the NCW or if the DCW, the Delhi Commission for Women, filed a complaint yesterday, if the Delhi police and the Delhi government have spoken with the LG today, why hasn't a single arrest been made? Is it that difficult to pick up one of these people who made horrific threats against this young lady? Is the Delhi police completely incapable of reading through Facebook and tracing these people? And I will also, through the course of this show, give you instances where, because of political pressure, people have been picked up in less than 2 hours for saying something that politicians disagreed with on Facebook. So if the political clout is behind the police is fully capable of tracing someone and making an arrest. But if it's a question of the safety of a 20-year-old woman, the police somehow finds itself incapable of simply doing its job. That's the question we're asking tonight. Has the system once again failed the daughters of India? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, very senior voices who will tell us how easy or difficult it should be for the police in Delhi to trace these people and make arrests. Don't go anywhere. Well, you're watching the Urban Debate. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for staying with us. That young girl has left Delhi. Her mother instructed her to flee. She has taken down all of her protests, and she has left Delhi. Her crime was saying two things. Firstly, that she was not afraid of the ABV. Secondly, was that she wanted peace between India and Pakistan because she believed that she lost her father to war. Now, we're not talking about the politics behind what happened. We're talking about the fact that the Delhi police has still done nothing other than very painfully register one FIR. Could they have done more? Should they have done more? Joining me on the show this evening, Vikram Singh, former DGP of UP, Ashok Goyal, spokesperson of the BJP, Sanjay Jha, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Atishi Marlena, advisor to the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party, Vijay Mukhi, author and very senior cyber security expert, Sudhakar Suratkar, former IPS officer, Mumbai, Ritesh Mehta, cyber security expert. again, I'm going to say this one more time, they're going to set the politics aside and focus on the security. There is no doubt about the fact that Delhi has an acute problem when it comes to the security of women. The last set of data numbers that came out told us that there is one complaint being registered of rape every 4 hours within the limits of Delhi, and Delhi is not a large state. Which means that there's obviously already a problem in the manner in which women are treated in that city. Should the police have done more? Vikram Singh, we've talked about this for 24 hours now, which means the police have known for more than 24 hours, which means the police should have made an arrest, which they have not done.
Faye, your opening remarks said everything. We have failed our daughters. And the very fact that Gurmehar has left Delhi is indicative of the fact that the insecurity and the cult of machism that exists in Delhi, she felt helpless, her mother felt helpless, and therefore the poor soul had to leave Delhi. Now, the case being registered after so many hours and a lukewarm attitude, a cavalier attitude towards making arrests, it is not rocket science. The cyber experts are there. They will tell you that if you choose to be vigorous and thorough in your investigation, it doesn't take more than 24 hours to identify. It's much easier to identify the culprit from the IP addresses than from physical addresses. And since you're not serious, I would also like to question two things of Delhi police. Why have you not invoked the provisions of the Indecent Representation of Women's Act? Why did you not propose to take action under the National Security Act subclause 2 public order when there's so much of violence pertaining to this particular episode? I think you are applying band-aid to terminal cancer. You are absolutely lukewarm and non-serious. But if you are serious, and I would appeal to the Delhi police to be serious and to put their act together and go in for a manhunt against all those who put these obnoxious posts on the Twitter and trolled this child.
Absolutely. One arrest at least should have been made. Mr. Suratkar, you've been a police officer. You realize more than anybody else that if there is political will to make an arrest will be made. Do you believe that in this particular case there is enough political will to make an arrest?
It doesn't appear there. See, it's a very simple crime. These are not fake accounts, which can be traced easily, as my learned friend has already explained it to us. So here, I entirely I agree with Mr. Vikram Singh. If there is a will, they can easily do it. It's not very difficult. The fact that the registration itself took long time shows that the police were not inclined to register the case unless there was pressure from the media and others. So if the police function like this, they are not the tool of the political bosses.
Yes.
They must work independently on their own on the basis of the truth. Now, the truth is very obvious.
It's obvious. It's on a public forum. We can all read it. We've all taken printouts of it. We've seen how heinous it is. You agree that there is a crime, and if the police was actually doing its job, it should have made arrests by now.
Definitely. Not only arrest, I said, why not charge sheet? It's not such a difficult crime which will take a very long time to complete the investigation.
Yes.
This is a crime which can be very easily completed within a very short time. This is a case where not only investigation, but even the trial and conviction should be so fast that there is a lesson to all fellows who indulge in such type of crime.
Ritesh, you, my producer called you today, didn't give you too much time, I must accept, and asked you to read through the kind of posts there were on this young lady's Facebook and Twitter pages. What did you find?
First of all, the posts were very obnoxious. They were very, very obscene in content. It was very shocking to read such kind of comments. And then when I, being a cybercrime investigator, I just wanted to delve down, dig a little deeper into it. I saw like these are not fake accounts. These are of normal citizens, of the ordinary citizens who feel that they have the right to say anything they want because this is an online platform. I'm sure these people don't have the courage to say anything to a woman offline when they see her on the road or anything. So I wouldn't
be so sure.
Pardon me?
I wouldn't be so sure.
How can you be so sure? Yeah.
But definitely these are not like fake accounts. And I could see like, if I could go to anybody's profile, I could see they are having regular posts since like 2014 onwards and all. So we cannot say like these are fake ones. So the case is pretty simple. I mean, it's very easy to identify these people. You really don't need an IP address also if you see. Of course, that would be required in the court of law, but as far as to make an arrest, so you can, like in the case of Shaheen Dada, when
Yes.
from the Palghar she was arrested, or Asim Trivedi,
And that arrest was made in a couple of hours.
Couple of hours, yeah. And you look at the other ones also, like Mahapatra or Asim Trivedi, the cartoonist, they were arrested immediately.
So it's possible, and if you could do
Absolutely.
it in a couple of hours, then there is no reason why the cyber cell of the Delhi police shouldn't have done it already. Atishi, Marlena, representing the Delhi government of the Aam Aadmi Party, what has been done so far? Why hasn't an arrest been made right now by the Delhi police? Why are we still talking about one FIR?
I think, when you said at the beginning that let's not talk about politics, I think that's very clearly the elephant in the room. And I think that everything that all our panelists have said so far points in only one direction. All this is happening with the sanction of the political bosses. The fact that the Delhi police, the fact that any police across the country can make an arrest in 24 hours, the minute you criticize the Prime Minister of the country, the minute you criticize the central government, then you can track any post on Facebook, then you can track any post on Twitter, and people will be under arrest in 24 hours. Here is a young student of Delhi University who is given rape threats, who is given lewd murder threats, and everyone can see who is posting it, but yet nothing happens. Number one, the FIR is filed only when the DCW intervenes. Number two, despite an FIR being filed, the only thing the Delhi police can say is that our cyber cell is working on it. And what do we actually hear from the Home Minister, under whom the Delhi police runs? He does not talk about the kind of offensive statements made against Gurmehar. What he says is, I am deeply disturbed at who is polluting the minds of young people like Gurmehar. Mr. Kiran Rijiju, why don't you answer who is polluting the minds of the people who are abusing this young lady? Why don't you ask who is polluting the minds of people who are issuing rape threats? And it is with the sanction of the political bosses, of the Home Minister, of the Prime Minister, that the Delhi police is not acting. And that is the question that the highest levels of this government need to answer.
Let me bring in Ashok Goyal on that point. Ashok Goyal represents the BJP. Mr. Goyal, tell us this. The Delhi police, as all of our experts have pointed out, and these are senior and retired police officers and senior cybersecurity experts who have said that these people can be traced and an arrest could be made. There is no grey area about the fact that these sort of threats are a crime. A crime has been committed repeatedly in Delhi over the last several days. No action has been taken by the Delhi police. Why not?
I'm not listening your voice.
You're not able to hear my voice. I'll ask you that question one more time, sir. A crime has been committed in Delhi. One young lady, 20 years of age, has had to flee the city of Delhi because the Delhi police has not been able to protect her. To make matters worse, the Delhi police, in spite of receiving a complaint from the DCW, which is the Delhi Commission for Women, has not made a single arrest. Are we sending out a message that this sort of cyber bullying in the name of nationalism is okay in our country?
नहीं देखिए, आप नेशनलिज्म के नाम से बुलिंग की बात नहीं है। आप इस घटना को राजनीति की दृष्टि से प्रेरित किया जा रहा है। दिल्ली पुलिस ने एफआईआर दर्ज की है, दिल्ली पुलिस अपना काम करेगी, लेकिन इस घटना के परिप्रेक्ष्य में आप अब जाएंगे तो इसके ऊपर जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं, जो लेफ्ट है या कांग्रेस है, वो एक राजनीति करने की कोशिश कर रही है।
मिस्टर गोयल, आपने कहा कि दिल्ली पुलिस अपने काम करेगी, but Delhi police has not done its job already, sir. It has already been over 48 hours and Delhi police has not made a single arrest, and as we have proven in the first 10 minutes of the show, an arrest could have been made and should have been made by now.
नहीं, आज डीसीडब्ल्यू ने भी एफआईआर दर्ज करी है। विद्यार्थी परिषद के भी संगठन ने आज खुद जाकर स्वयं वहां पर पुलिस की कंप्लेंट दी है कि इसके ऊपर जो आरोप लग रहे हैं, एक इसको पॉलिटिसाइज किया जा रहा है इश्यूज को, इसके ऊपर तुरंत कार्रवाई की जानी चाहिए। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी और विद्यार्थी परिषद की ओर से भी कंप्लेंट की है दिल्ली पुलिस को
कि थ्रेट्स आ रहे हैं इस लड़की को। कार्रवाई किस चीज के बारे में हो रही है, सर? बिकॉज द प्रॉब्लम इज बीइंग पॉलिटिसाइज्ड और बिकॉज द फैक्ट दैट देयर इज अ 20-year-old गर्ल हु इज रिसीविंग थ्रेट्स?
जो नो जो गुरु मेहर जी को जो थ्रेट्स आ रही हैं, निश्चित रूप से उनको वो जानकारी दिल्ली पुलिस के साथ साझा करनी चाहिए। वो जितनी जानकारी वो दिल्ली पुलिस को देगी तो निश्चित रूप से दिल्ली पुलिस उस पर कार्रवाई करेगी।
तो
लेकिन
आपको कहना है कि गुरमीत को खुद आके
मतलब
जानकारी की जरूरत नहीं है।
अच्छा, ठीक है। So basically what Ashok Goel is telling us is that Gurmeet is going to have to come in herself and give evidence to the Delhi police. Sanjay Jha, respond please.
Yeah, Faye, let me tell you that what has happened at the Ramjas College in Delhi is part of a more systematic pattern which is being actually executed with ruthless efficiency by the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad under the political patronage of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the RSS. Please don't look at the entire hullabaloo happening in Delhi today in splendid isolation. It happened with Rohit Vemula in Hyderabad. It happened with Kanhaiya Kumar in JNU. You know how the FTII was completely subjugated on the selection of the chairman. The IIT Madras Ambedkar Circle was humiliated. BHU, I can list Jadavpur University. There is been an orchestrated attempt
Sanjay Jha,
by the
focus on
Bharatiya Janata
Gurmehar Kaur. I
Party
want
and
to
the
stay with this
RSS
one
to
problem.
stifle dissent.
Sanjay Jha, I want to stay with the problem. I want to stay with the fact
No,
that...
I will answer that. But you know the truth... No, fair enough. But I agree with Atishi completely. The reason that you find that somebody, a 20-year-old young girl who makes in my opinion, very mature statements of reconciliation, talks about being anti-violence in the land of Gandhi, is targeted by people from ABVP. And let me tell you, it is a political issue because on social media, the trolls who have harassed her are actually followed. Many of those trolls are being followed on Twitter by India's Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi himself. It is a political issue. If I'm a troll and India's Prime Minister is following me and I'm abusing you, Faye, I have got a license to do what I want to do. I have no apprehensions, I have no fears, and believe me, no police is going to come and catch me. So the truth is, you have at the moment a very complex issue of the politics of this country dominating not just the law enforcement agencies, but giving a free hand to social media, which we all know indulges in psychological violence, mental intimidation, and God forbid one day could result in something very dastardly and physical. The fact that you have today this extremely sorry spectacle of Gurmehar leaving the town of Delhi because she is fearful, and this despite the humongous public attention, despite the fact that politicians have got into the fray, tells you that perhaps there is a singular lack of any faith in governance in New Delhi today. I think it's a day where we should all hang our heads in shame.
Well, we are indeed ashamed. And to respond to what Ashok Goel said, and Vijay Mukhi, I'll bring you in here, after which I want the retired police officers to respond. And I'm reading out of the Delhi Commission for Women. This is a notice that they have written out, and they've put out today, and they put one out yesterday as well, saying that she has been subjected to extreme abuse and rape threats on her Facebook profile. The Commission is in receipt of a complaint from her which is self-explanatory, and it contains relevant screenshots of the rape threats and abuse as evidence. The same has been forwarded along with the complaint. This has been given to both the Delhi police, to Facebook themselves, which means that Gurmehar has already given out all of the evidence that she could have possibly given out. I don't understand from Mr. Ashok Goel, what more could they expect from her? Vijay Mukhi, what more do we expect from this young lady? Has she not already given out as much evidence as she could have?
No.
Is this possibly why she walked away, because she just felt there was nothing left to be done?
I agree with you. She's done what she should have done. But I think we need to take a step backwards. And Mr. Vikram Singh raised a very valid point. He's used the word IP address. Now, someone like me has about maybe 20 fake Facebook accounts. So the problem is just looking at an account, nobody knows this is the real Vijay Mukhi or the fake Vijay Mukhi. So unless the Delhi police gets it in writing from Facebook that these are the IP addresses of people who've threatened Kaur, I don't think I won't advise the Delhi police to take action.
No, hang on.
Yeah.
Let me point out to you that Ritesh also said at the beginning of the show that a lot of these Facebook accounts have been active since 2014, and they post on a regular basis. Now, let's not kid ourselves about the fact that just reading through our profile, Facebook learns a lot about who we are, where we shop, who we hang out with, where we go to school and college, where we work. So how difficult would it be for the Delhi police to scroll through these profiles if they've been actually active since 2014 and locate these people? Vikram Singh.
Faye, For any professional police organization, it's not impossible for them to access the Twitters, their Facebooks, because they have their reps and it is through them. We have done it earlier, we have done it in the past, and we can do it again, to access them through their representatives and get whatever we require to be done. And if a court order is required, we provide them the court orders too, but it doesn't take very long. In such cases, even if it's required to approach the court after the court hours, that has also been done in the past and needs to be done now. There is no alibi. और अशोक जी से बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ मेरा निवेदन है कि जो अभिलेखीय साक्ष्य डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस है वो उपलब्ध कराया जा चुका है दिल्ली पुलिस को। दिल्ली पुलिस के पास कोई विकल्प नहीं है सिवाय इसके कि अब गिरफ्तारी करे, क्योंकि जितना विलंब अब गिरफ्तारी में होगा उनकी विश्वसनीयता, क्रेडिबिलिटी के ऊपर बहुत बड़ा आघात लगेगा।
अशोक गोयल जी,
नहीं, निश्चित रूप से जो आपने कहा है कि ये जो आईटी और साइबर क्राइम है, इसके अंदर दिल्ली पुलिस को जल्दी से जल्दी उन लोगों को निश्चित रूप से अरेस्ट करना चाहिए। और दिल्ली पुलिस इसमें मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि पहले भी उन्होंने कमेंडेबल काम किया, इस पे जरूर काम करेगी और कुछ ही दिनों के अंदर आपको लगेगा कि दिल्ली पुलिस इसके ऊपर काम करके अरेस्ट करेगी, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
48 घंटे हो गए हैं।
मिस्टर गोयल, कुछ ही दिन की समय में क्या होने वाला है जो अभी 2 दिन में नहीं हुआ? मैंने कहा सर, दिस गर्ल हैज ऑलरेडी लेफ्ट दिल्ली, शी डजंट फील सेफ इन द कैपिटल ऑफ आवर कंट्री।
नहीं, देखिए, जैसे अभी इन्होंने बताया कि
शेमफुल,
जैसे इन्होंने अभी बताया कि ये आईपी एड्रेसेस और निकालना वो एक साइबर क्राइम है और साइबर क्राइम के द्वारा ये निकाला जाएगा। और दिल्ली पुलिस जिन लोगों ने भी ये रिमार्क्स दिए निश्चित रूप से निंदनीय है और इनके ऊपर जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
But I think he should really answer. He should answer about the kind of comments that have been made about Gurmehar by the Minister of State the Home Minister for State, Mr. Kiran Rijiju. Why hasn't he condemned what is going on? Exactly. Why hasn't the Home Ministry pushed the Delhi police to take immediate action? Why has the Home Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, not said anything so far?
I'm going to point out to this panel that in order to do research, and you're so right, we did this.
नहीं, देखिए, जो गृह मंत्री जी ने कहा, आपको
इस लड़की के फेसबुक पेज खोल के हमने सारे कमेंट्स पढ़ लिए सर। अगर आप पढ़ेंगे आप रात को सो नहीं पाओगे कि हमारे देश में ऐसे नौजवान
विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ताओं पे ऐसे आरोप लगाए जा रहे हैं जो बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है। विद्यार्थी परिषद की छात्राओं को भी पीटा गया है।
मिस्टर गोयल,
we are not discussing that matter.
हम उसके बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे। We are discussing the fact that there has been a crime और आप कह रहे हैं कि और 2-3 दिन लगेंगे एक अरेस्ट करने में, जब आपको साफ साफ बताया जा रहा है इसी पैनल पे कि 2-3 घंटे भी नहीं लगनी चाहिए सर। If the Delhi police really needed to do so, they could have done so by now. Why hasn't it been done already? And if you are telling me, Mr. Goyal, that it is going to take another 2 or 3 days, what is it going to take 2 or 3 days for? Ritesh Bhatia has actually in the last 2 hours managed to separate the fake accounts from the real accounts. And let me tell you, some of the most horrendous things that have been said to this young lady are from real accounts. These are not even fake accounts, which means that these men are absolutely brazen. Which means these men, if you do not make an arrest, if the Delhi police doesn't make an arrest, we are sending a very clear message that this sort of behavior is okay. That this sort of behavior is acceptable. Consider the fact that they did not even bother to create a fake account. They are using their real accounts.
Behavior is not tolerable.
जो मैं अपनी स्क्रीन पे दिखा रही हूँ for the benefit of our viewers and for the benefit of Mr. Ashok Goyal, ये real accounts है Mr. Goyal, जो हम अपनी स्क्रीन पे दिखा रहे हैं, ये असली accounts है. These are people who have not even bothered, they have not even bothered to open fake accounts. They are using their real accounts to make graphic.
You know why, Faye?
Graphic claims
do you know
and
why
graphic
they have
threats.
not bothered to?
Go ahead.
Well, you know why they have not bothered to open fake accounts? Because these trolls are not a new phenomenon. This kind of sexual abuse, these kind of threats happen on social media regularly. You as a woman journalist would know this yourself. So many women from your profession face this kind of trolling. So many women politicians like me face this trolling on a regular basis. And as Sanjay Jha has pointed out, many of these trolls who make rape threats, many of these trolls who make murder threats, many of these trolls who use sexually abusive language are followed by the Prime Minister on Twitter. That is the reason they don't feel the need to make fake accounts. They are protected from the Prime Minister of this country. These trolls go and meet the Prime Minister at his own residence. They tweet photographs of their meetings with the Prime Minister. Why would they feel the need to create fake accounts? They are protected by the highest authority of the country.
Well, I want to ask this question of Vijay Mukhi. Vijay Mukhi, will you help the Delhi police if Delhi police needs help understanding how Facebook works? If Delhi police needs help right now understanding what is a fake account and a real account, Vijay Mukhi, will you offer some help to the Delhi police?
My problem is I'm not smart enough to differentiate between a fake account and a real account. Let me be very, very honest here. It's very difficult. So my advice to the Delhi police is if you get an IP address from Facebook, arrest today. If you don't, your hands are tied. I know it's an unpopular view.
Ritesh Bhatia?
With all our information, as you rightly said, Faye, you know that Facebook knows everything, what we are eating, where we are checking in, you know, and with the concept of what we have is like social engineering, you know, that's a term in the cybercrime dictionary. So yes, in the court of law, as I said earlier also, you cannot hold that person guilty unless it's an IP or other kind of things. But definitely on the face of it, you can figure it out that this is a fake account or this is a real account, and arrest can definitely be made on suspicions also. And the thing is, the way this girl is...
Especially since we're living in such a brilliant country right now that has digitization, you know, asking us to completely move online, asking us to use our phones for everything, Ritesh Bhatia. Can we trace these people?
Will you help them? Surveillance?
Absolutely.
Sanjay Jha, my concern here is if not a single arrest is going to be made, we are going to send a very clear message to these awful men that this is okay and they can do it to the next woman they decide to collectively target like a mob online.
Well, it's happening, Faye, and I want to tell you that to add to what Atishi mentioned, a very popular actually journalist, a woman journalist, by the way, I have a lot of respect for her. Her name is Swati Chaturvedi. She's actually written a book on, called On Trolls and how they actually, created all kinds of imaginative assaults on people and finally indulged in serious, I call it very serious character assassination, murder threats, rape threats and what have you. And they have all got away scot-free even as we talk. I think this is a moment not just for introspection, but now to do something about it. Every time there is a problem, we indulge in a lot of chat, but end of day, nothing happens on the ground. And I'm glad you're debating this issue, Faye, because the truth is, and I'm saying this to you with complete responsibility, and I also represent a political party. I'm telling you the reason why today you find young elements who are absolutely brutal in the way they treat women. There is a professor of Delhi who has been attacked physically. He's in a hospital because of an abdominal fracture or a rupture. I mean, what are we talking about? This is happening in New Delhi, the capital of this country. And while there is a lot of debate and discussion and deliberations on TV, you are absolutely right. There is nobody who's going to get arrested because there is no intent to do so. Do you know that in London, Arun Jaitley, India's finance minister, makes a statement that the universities in this country have an alliance of subversion. So there is a definite attempt to silence an opinion in universities which challenge any status quo that the current government wants. So if somebody protests, he's anti-national. If I say something today about Kashmir, hey, you are a traitor to this country, let's hang you. I mean, this is a dangerous political culture which is evolving. And I can tell you, if today this is happening to a young girl who was 2 years old when her father died as a martyr fighting for this country, then I can tell you there's nothing more that you can expect. Your program needs to be seen and discussed, I hope, by the powers that be in New Delhi, because I think they have decided that they don't care. They don't care, which is why Kiren Rijiju makes a statement saying that the young girl is probably being polluted by the mind. Virender Sehwag mocks her. A cricketer of his repute mocks her. And some Bollywood actor joins in the entire, razzmatazz of entertainment. It's a very sad and a tragic day as far as I'm concerned.
Mr. Suratkar, if you were the officer in charge of this particular case, and we've heard the IPC sections that have been used, right. This has to do with the modesty of a woman. This has to do with making threats. This has to do with the IT Act. What would you have done?
Actually, this is a very simple case where police should show it to all that they mean business. They are to be controlled by the law of the land and not the political bosses. Say, even if the senior most politician can be arrested, There is a specific provision. So they are not above law. But then what happens? Because of police themselves are interested in some, I did not speak it out.
No, please do, because not all of everybody watching at home will understand what you're talking about.
Say a policeman who wants to make money, he cannot displease the political boss.
Okay.
So one who has a vested interest, a policeman with a vested interest cannot be expected to work like a policeman. And what I see is very clearly, why do you need policemen on their own could have registered the case? Sumo they could have registered the case.
Exactly.
And they do it.
Exactly.
At times they do it.
That's right.
And they don't need,
That's right.
say, any orders. So my point is plain and simple. If police want to do it, and I want them to do action according to facts. I don't want to implicate any innocent. But you see, at times, innocents are being implicated because of political pressure. And the criminals are let off. This shouldn't happen. It's in the interest of the country that the policemen should show that they are not going to be controlled by a political boss. They will be controlled by the constitution and the land of the law.
Vikram Singh,
And the law of the land.
As the former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, do you believe that these police officers are being controlled by political bosses?
Obviously, they are not doing what they are supposed to do, expected to do, and what they are paid for. As I said before, there's another tool which the police officers have at their hand, and that is electronic surveillance. The use of the internet, the use of the dongle, the use of, even if they're smart enough to go to a free Wi-Fi station, the profiling is such and precise and exact that the police, a professional police officer, investigator, can pinpoint the use of the machine and the person using and whatever. In no circumstance will the police officer will be helpless if he's a professional. And therefore, I would say that the police needs to do a lot more than what they have done now. और अशोक जी से मेरा बड़ा विनम्र निवेदन है कि इसमें किसी आदेश की आवश्यकता नहीं है. इसमें जो अनिवार्यता है कानून की, संविधान की, उसके अनुरूप कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए. ये हमारी बच्ची है, आपकी बच्ची है, और इसके बारे में जो भी कार्रवाई त्वरित हो जानी चाहिए, ये राष्ट्रहित में अनिवार्यता है. अतीत के खंडहर और भविष्य की कल्पनाओं में कोई पुलिस फोर्स जीवित नहीं रह सकती है. हमें यह देखना है कि वर्तमान में हम क्या कर रहे हैं और अपने बारे में अपनी सत्यनिष्ठा के आधार पर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए.
You know, Atul Goyal ji, I just want to add to that. I want to admire the Prime Minister's phrase and campaign, Beti Bachao, which I think is a beautiful and a very positive campaign. But there has not been a clearer opportunity for the government to save a daughter than this one.
True.
I think this is a great opportunity for the government to come forward. और जैसी विक्रम जी ने अभी भी बताया, ये हमारी बच्ची है, आप बचा लीजिए इनको प्लीज. मिस्टर गोयल.
निश्चित रूप से सरकार इसमें निश्चित रूप से अपना काम करेगी. मैं जो संजय झा जी ने पहले कहा, मैं इस इशू को हमें दो हिस्सों में देखना चाहिए. पहला हिस्सा जो रामजस कॉलेज में हुआ, जो आपने वित्त मंत्री जी के बयान के बारे में बताया, जो आपने किरण रिजिजू जी के बयान के बारे में बताया कि वहां पर उमर खालिद को बुलाया गया, उसको वहां के ग्रुप के लोगों ने बोलने नहीं दिया गया. उसके बाद वहां पे जो जमा लोग थे उन्होंने कश्मीर की आजादी के, बस्तर की आजादी का इशू उठाया.
आप रेप की तरफ अपना सर इस चैनल पे हम पॉलिटिक्स ट्रैक ही नहीं करते सर. मिस्टर गोयल
पुलिस को इसके ऊपर
मिस्टर गोयल हम इस चैनल पे पॉलिटिक्स ट्रैक ही नहीं करते सर. हमारे व्यूअर्स पॉलिटिक्स देखते ही नहीं है. हमें आप रेप थ्रेट की तरफ अपना ध्यान दे दीजिए. आप बताइए हमें कि दिल्ली पुलिस क्या करने वाली है अभी. LG, what is he going to do to assure that these people are put behind bars? And I want a time limit deadline, sir. When is the first arrest going to happen? Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening?
And what has the Home Ministry done about it so far?
आप बताइए. आपने कहा कि निश्चित दिल्ली पुलिस अपनी काम करेगी. आप बताइए कब तक काम करेगी, कितना टाइम लगेगा दिल्ली पुलिस को?
ऊपर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए और करेगी. वो गुरु मेहर हम सबकी बेटी है, इस देश की बेटी है. उसके ऊपर जिसने भी ये
नहीं, आप लोग अटेंशन डाइवर्ट कर रहे हो. आप मुद्दे पे आइए सर कि दिल्ली पुलिस अपने काम कब तक करेगी, कितना टाइम लगेगा दिल्ली पुलिस को काम करने?
हम सबकी बेटी है, इस देश की बेटी है, उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई होगी.
नहीं, कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए थी सर. अब तक कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए थी अब तक. अब कितना टाइम लगेगा दिल्ली पुलिस को कार्रवाई करने में?
देखिए, आप साइबर भारतीय जनता पार्टी और ये सरकार किसी भी बेटी के खिलाफ कोई भी काम अगर कोई व्यक्ति करता है उसको प्रोटेक्शन के लिए बिल्कुल आगे नहीं आती है। और लेकिन निश्चित रूप से इसको राजनीति का अखाड़ा नहीं बनाना चाहिए। दिल्ली पुलिस इस पे जल्दी से जल्दी कार्रवाई करेगी और उसको निश्चित रूप से करेगी।
सर, आप हमें लिप सर्विस दे रहे हैं। विक्रम सिंह, आई एम नॉट हैप्पी, आर यू हैप्पी?
No, the words are not convincing at all, and I would say that there is no room for complacency or confidence. What is required is some confidence building measure, some statement from the police commissioner at least that arrest would be made in 72 hours. This is exactly what the roadmap is, and this is what we intend doing. Not a word from the police commissioner, not a word from the PRO. And in selective cases, show me the man and I'll show you the rules. The arrests are so prompt that they would put the Scotland Yard to shame. In the present case, no one seems to be interested. People seem to be looking the other way. There is absolutely no confidence in what the police has done till now, and I'm not very optimistic for what is going to happen in the next few days too.
Hatishi Marlena, what has the government of Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party government of Delhi, done up till now on this particular case?
As you know, Faye, the Delhi police does not come under the Delhi government, but we have made every possible attempt. The Chief Minister went and spoke to the LG himself. The DCW has intervened in the matter. Leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party went and tried to meet the police commissioner today. And mind you, after giving an appointment to the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party, the police commissioner did not even turn up for the meeting, which goes to show how serious the Delhi police is actually on this matter. And I think it's a matter of absolute shame that in the national capital, a 20-year-old girl is given a rape threat, and the only thing that the Home Minister can say is that her mind is polluted. I think this is a matter of deep, deep shame for our country, and the Home Minister's statement says it all. The police is not interested in acting on those who have threatened Gurmehar Kaur. The police, whose boss is the Home Minister, is only interested in casting aspersions on the girl herself.
Mr. Atul Goyal, मैं फिर से आपसे एक सवाल पूछूंगी। दिन दिहाड़ी खुलेआम हमारी एक बेटी को किसी ने बलात्कार की धमकी दी है बार बार। क्या इस सरकार इस बेटी को बचाएगी? Mr. Goyal, can you hear me?
या
क्या मैं कुछ कह सकता हूँ?
हाँ संजय झा, आप बताइए। संजय झा,
फे मैं इतना ही कहूंगा गोयल जी से कि नारेबाजी से देश नहीं चलती है। बेटी बचाओ सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन आप लोग जानते हैं कि ये बनावटी पाखंडी नारेबाजी से किसी को ये विश्वास नहीं होगा कि दिल्ली की पुलिस की मंशा या नियत क्या है। इस पर बहुत प्रश्न उठाए जा रहे हैं। जैसे विक्रम सिंह जी ने कहा है, आपकी विश्वसनीयता है ही नहीं, लोगों को विश्वास नहीं है कि आप लोग कुछ कदम उठाएंगे। और आप लोग देखिए कि आज भी दिल्ली में, भारत में हर जगह जिस तरीके से हमारी महिला जो बढ़ के जो इतने ढेर सारी महिलाओं पर जो अत्याचार होता है, उन पर हमले होते हैं, उस पर वो नंबर, जो आंकड़े बढ़े हैं, कम नहीं हुए हैं। हेलो,
वी कैन हियर यू मिस्टर झा, गो अहेड।
इसीलिए मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि इस वक्त Faye, the problem that we have is that we are at the moment in a deep, I think, administrative rut. The police is completely under the control of the union government. I don't think they have any intentions whatsoever of defying the political powers, which is why all the rowdy hooligans who are indulging in violence, social media abuse, and threatening a young girl, they have got a license to do what they wish to do. I have a feeling that you'll have more programs on the subject, because this is not going to end over the next couple of hours, because there is today great unrest in New Delhi. I've been talking to a lot of the young Congress people who have been supporting the protesters, and they are saying that there's fear amongst many people of what kind of violence can be created even in the coming days ahead, because they target people, they are identified, and then they're given threatening calls. Okay. So what you're witnessing today is the beginning of a long nightmare.
All right, we're going to have to take a very quick break. We come back, our phone lines will be open. You can call us and join the conversation. But the question I remind everyone is simply this. We're not talking about the politics of it. There is a crime that has obviously been committed. There is a young lady who has been chased out of Delhi because of threats of rape and murder. And the police has done absolutely nothing so far. Why not? Quick break. On the other side, come back with your phone calls. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Urban Debate. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the rape threats that we talked about last night, but somehow the Delhi police hasn't realized. The Delhi police has not done enough on the FIR, apart from simply telling us that they're doing everything they can. Now, had the Delhi police done everything they can, they would have picked up some people for questioning. They would have picked up someone for an arrest. And the truth is, because they haven't done so already, they're emboldening the people who are making these claims to make more such threats, because these people believe that they are above the law. Ritesh Bhatia, and I'm going to do a quick round of questions to everyone on our panel. Ritesh, I will start with you. Obviously, cyberbullying and this sort of treatment of women, of journalists, of authors, of anyone who has an opinion has become fairly commonplace. And is it because we're not treating it like a crime that people are actually going ahead and doing that much more of it, Ritesh?
Yeah, absolutely. Because firstly, I would want to highlight, we had something like called as Section 66A, which was scrapped by the Supreme Court. For post that, I'm seeing that the trolling is just increasing day by day. So we really need to get back that particular section with, of course, all the screws tightened in it, everything very well defined. And
no, but tell me something, Ritesh. You work with the police on cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Is there an attitude within the system that this sort of bullying to chalta is not really a problem? That women should simply put up with it?
It's not only with the police or anything. It's like generally at large, even when you go to schools and all, the attitude is bullying is okay. Bullying is like so cyber stalking, cyber bullying, but people are not realizing how much of psychological toll it takes on the person. Like now I would request Goel Saab, like even if one arrest is made or two arrests are made, it will actually create a lot of panic amongst the other trollers. They will stop, because at the moment also, if you go to the profile of that girl, you see the language that is being used against that girl. So we need to stop there. So what if the Home Ministry or the PM comes and tweets, or even the Delhi police comes and tweets, look, stop this. They can come and tweet about the traffic, they can tweet about other things. What if they come and say, look, this is absolutely not done in this country. We have to protect the modesty of we have to respect the women and take care of the modesty. At least step in digitally. For every other thing, you're pushing us so hard for digital. Here also, all it takes is just one tweet or one comment on the Facebook. At least stop that, because the girl is being bullied constantly while we speak also.
Right. And Vijay Mukhi, I know that, and I'm going to ask you a slightly personal question. I know that you read through the bullying yourself before you came here, because our producer called you earlier. And you were not the target of all of the statements that were made, but how did it make you feel?
Very angry, very, very upset. And a lot of this has been said to me also. But what I would just like to add is that this wouldn't have happened in the US. We wouldn't have had this program in the US, because previous governments should have done what the US government did: monitor all activity on the internet. Now today they have to rely on Facebook. But if they monitored all activity, then these people could have been arrested yesterday. So my only advice to the present government is, please monitor what's happening on the internet. And I don't think it's just her being bullied. I think we've all been bullied.
Very right, very right. And Mr. Suratkar, I want to ask you this question. You repeatedly talked about the fact that there are possibly honest police officers who are afraid of political pressure. There are dishonest police officers who are taking advantage of the situation. But if what Ritesh is saying is actually followed, and someone fairly high up in the government puts out a message on social networking saying, we're not okay with this, do you think it would make a difference?
It will definitely make a difference. As Mr. Vikram Singh has rightly said, that this CP is not saying a word. Why can't CP take up on himself to ensure that an honest policeman in Delhi will be protected and supported? A message has to go from the top, police top, that yes, we mean business, we want rule of law, and nobody will be spared. If this message goes, because today there is no fear of law. And I think all of us have to come together and ensure that rule of law prevails.
Vikram Singh? Vikram Singh, do you agree that someone fairly high up in the government needs to make a statement that this is a crime that we are not going to be okay with, and the criminals will be treated like criminals?
Absolutely, Faye, that there should be a roadmap. Identify the top 5 cyber stalkers and bullies announce a reward of 1 lakh each, have them arrested and put them behind bars and invoke the provisions of NSA also. And then you'll see that you will have some respite. But in the absence of that, you playing the fiddle, looking the other way, then obviously there is going to be no confidence whatsoever.
Atishi?
I think that we are living in a fool's paradise if we think that the government is going to intervene. This is happening with the government sanction. And as I think all of you, everyone in this panel and everyone watching this show, must read Swati Chaturvedi's book about how the worst trolls, the worst cyber bullies, those who are issuing the most abusive threats, are repeatedly suspended by Twitter, and they are followed by the Prime Minister and invited to the Prime Minister's home. How is the government going to intervene when they are sanctioning this themselves?
Well, Mr. Ashok Goel, can you give us a guarantee that if the government is truly serious to protect this young lady, that a message will be sent out either by the Commissioner of Police of Delhi or by the Home Ministry or by the Prime Minister's office, that this sort of behavior is not okay in a country where we believe in saving our daughters?
देखिए, इस इशू पे राजनीति हम लोगों को नहीं करनी चाहिए, हमको साथ मिलकर काम करना चाहिए।
राजनीति के बारे में बात ही नहीं कर रहे।
कांग्रेस के टाइम में हमने देखा निर्भया हुआ, जब हाउ सेंसिटिव देवर। आतिशी जी, अभी आप बताएंगे कि संदीप कुमार जो इनके मंत्री थे, किस तरह से उन्होंने महिलाओं का यौन शोषण किया। तो आज ये हमें इस इशू पर ज्ञान ना दें, ये एक लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का इशू है, इस पे निश्चित रूप से हम लोगों को
आप तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की बात कर रहे हैं। मिस्टर गोयल, प्लीज फॉरगिव मी, अलाउ मी टू इंटरप्ट यू। आई डोंट लाइक टू इंटरप्ट माय गेस्ट, बट अलाउ मी टू इंटरप्ट यू। हम लोग राजनीति और पॉलिटिक्स बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहे सर। आई एम गोइंग टू रीइटरेट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। आई एम जस्ट सेइंग, इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर द गवर्नमेंट टू पुट आउट अ मैसेज? और आपने इस शो पे बार-बार, एंड आई अप्रिशिएटेड यू हैव said that you are serious about women's safety and that this government takes this crime very, very seriously. I'm just saying, can that be an official statement put out by somebody in charge of our police force, like our Home Minister?
Definitely our government and police definitely will issue a statement, and it will do concrete action on this. There is no stopping in that. और महिलाओं का सम्मान निश्चित रूप से इस सरकार में हुआ है और होगा, और इन पे सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
कब तक हो जाएगी सर? स्टेटमेंट कब तक आ जाएगी और ये कार्रवाई कब तक खत्म हो जाएगी?
आप देखिएगा, कल सुबह जल्द से जल्द इस पे कार्रवाई होगी और डेफिनेट एक्शन विल फॉलो।
Atishi, you were shaking your head. Are you not convinced? Because Ashok Goel has given us a guarantee by tomorrow morning.
In fact, I actually want to wager some money on this, that when we actually find who has issued the threats, they might actually be members or office bearers of the BJP or any of its units. I could actually wager money on this.
Ashok Goel?
आप सिर्फ आम आदमी पार्टी के अपने एमएलएज, अपने मिनिस्टर्स का कंडक्ट देख लीजिए, उसके बाद आप ये कहिए। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी महिलाओं का सम्मान करती है और
प्रधानमंत्री क्या ट्रोल्स को फॉलो करते हैं सर? ये बताइए,
इसके ऊपर राजनीति करने की कोशिश ना करें आप,
खुद ट्रोल्स को फॉलो करते हैं कि नहीं करते हैं?
Sanjay Jha, respond. Actually, there was a point that Ashok Goel made that we shouldn't brush under the carpet. Sanjay Jha, Ashok Goel pointed out that the Nirbhaya case happened at the time of the Congress party. How much has changed since then? How much has changed? And I repeatedly point out, I don't want to get into the politics of it. I want to get into what's happening on the ground. How much have we learned from that case, from that daughter that we lost? And how much have we changed?
Frankly, nothing at all, Faye. And I'm glad you brought up the Nirbhaya case. I mean, that was a time when the country united. People in Delhi went on the streets, on that ghastly murder. And what you have today is the same people in New Delhi, many of them, not all of them, some of them, who are saying that you go ahead and rape a 20-year-old young girl who's speaking her mind out. And I felt she was extraordinarily, kind of mature and making some statements that I think are an eye-opener for the young generation in particular. So clearly we haven't progressed anywhere. If at all, we have regressed. And I can tell you this, that there are some very creative and good ideas from the specialist on your panel, Faye. But I think Atishi is right, that until the political establishment doesn't take full responsibility for making sure that the criminal justice system is implemented, that the law and order machinery works in the interest of the ordinary citizen, nothing will change. I think we're going to have more of these programs until the political parties are held accountable. And I believe, therefore, civil society has to take a more active role, because our job is not just to vote once and then vote every 5 years and let the political parties do what they wish to do. I think the engagement with the political system has to be more frequent, regular and intense. That's
Ravi
what I
Nair
recommend.
is on the phone line from Mumbai. I don't have too much time. Ravi Nair, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to ask the person who's sitting on the panel, the BJP person. अगर ये आपकी बेटी होती तो क्या करते? If it was one of the minister's daughter, what would have they done? Because he has been rattling out various rules and regulations how people could be caught. They did that within 24 hours with that Palgar issue, when one of these two girls did put something on the Facebook or Twitter, and these people were arrested in 2 days and they were kept in jail for 2 days. When they can get demonetization within 4 hours, why can't they get hold of these 15 or 20 people who trolled this girl? What is Rajnath Singh doing? I mean, what is he doing? Can't he order his people to get this girl back to Delhi? And I would say the biggest anti-national is not this girl. The people who trolled her are the anti-national people, and they should be arrested overnight in the next 24 hours.
Right. In fact, we have run out of time on this panel. But I want to thank our okay, very quickly, Ashok Goel, give us a confirmation that work will be done, and give me a deadline that I can chase on this channel.
आपने कहा ये हमारी और देश की बेटी है, निश्चित रूप से इसके ऊपर कार्रवाई होगी, and ministry and Delhi police is putting concerted effort on that, and you will see a concrete action on this.
Right, concrete action is something we're going to be tracking. I want to thank our panelists for being here, and I just want to point out one thing, that we will on this channel simply chase after the law and order in this particular case, because, like I keep saying, we're not going into the politics of it. We're going and we're staying with the letter of the law, and the truth is there is a crime that has been committed. It is not national or anti-national, it is anti-woman. There is a young lady in our country who does not feel safe, and it's up to each and every one of us right now to stand by her and to assure her that as a country we will do what it takes to protect her, irrespective of what her political views may be and irrespective of whether or not we agree with her. It is our responsibility as a society to keep her safe. And that is exactly what we are going to do here on The Urban Debate. Thanks for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.